Okay, about 2.5, 3 weeks ago, going down the 140 heading into Klamath outside of Derry. About just after sunset, dusk, it was actually after dusk, it was dark. Coming down this section of road here, there's a bend that bends to the left. So your headlights shine off to the right side of the road, where I saw what looked to be a hair-covered bipedal creature or entity holding onto a tree with both arms, aiming backwards against the traffic in which direction I was going, and kind of shading its eyes behind its own arm, so it kind of emulated the branches of the local trees. And it took me about a minute to 2 minutes to get down the road before I realized what I thought I just saw. And the reflection was like that of a flashlight being shined in someone's eye. Not the eye shine, but the actual glimpsing of the light in the reflection of the eye. It was right in this vicinity. I would, if I had to zero in, I would probably say it's this grouping of trees or the next two down here.
Yeah.
Heading westbound on the 140 in Klamath, Oregon, Klamath County. But on my way to go pick up my girl at work, about this time of year, I guess it was about 5:30, 5:15-ish, around there. After dark, in the dusk area, it was very dark, actually. Headlights were on, oncoming traffic. And coming down this section of road right here, you got a bend to the left, which means your headlights shine off to the right. And there's a tree down here that had something that was hair covered, over 6 foot tall, both arms on the trunk. What I saw was the glinting of the headlights. It was just after dusk, headlights were on, and I didn't get the red reflection of eye shine. I got a glimpsing of headlights reflecting off of a wet surface, like eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
So, got a bear on the bottom of this tree. So basically, it would be cars are coming at you, and it looked very similar to this kind of fur, and it just kind of went like this. It was already like this, but it went like that, and obviously not with having a hat on. The eye caught the headlight, and I saw the shine, the reflection. I'm very observant. Everybody knows me knows that. So, I don't see a footprint here. There is a. I was over here, so there's a little of a curve right there. If this is the tree, because of the speed, I don't know if it was on this side of the barbed wire or on that side of the barbed wire. This one took me a couple of minutes to figure out what I saw. It's right in this area here, probably back a little bit. These trees actually have a shaggy look to their bark, and this animal had a very similar shag to it, and it was holding on to it like camouflage, shading its eye behind its own arm. So what caught my eye was that kind of looks like something, and then I saw the glint of the headlights reflecting in the gloss of the eye. So seeing that, it took me a couple minutes to actually figure out what it was I saw. And it was when you realize that the hair on the back of your neck starts standing up. And I'm always critical of what I see. I double think it, and I make sure that I'm not just making something up. With this, all this prairie, these fields and stuff like that, there are deer everywhere. I can definitely see where something like this could make a living out here. It doesn't even have to kill them. Just pick them up on the side of the road. Yeah. But there's a big hay barn back there. That would be a great place to sleep. I see all kinds of wildlife through here, and I don't see why that couldn't be one of them. Let's see here, 1990, 20 years, 2000. It was about 1990, if I remember correctly. A friend of mine and I were bored. So instead of going out and causing trouble, we were actually going to do a community service and build a footbridge over Medea Creek in the Agora area on what's known as Paramount Ranch, a federal park now. And we were collecting all kinds of willow logs and short sticks and everything to make a nice footbridge for the local joggers. And the sun was going down, and it wasn't dark at all, but the sun was behind us as we went to go get more material. And as we're coming down the trail to the creek, looking at a small open clearing between where our project was and where we got our stuff, standing in an arch of willows was about a 9-foot tall Bigfoot. And I stopped and I looked at it, and my buddy stopped, and very quietly I just said, "Do you see that?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "I think we're about done for the day." He goes, "Yeah." So we took an alternate way to bend around because our trucks were actually on the far side of the project. So being in the ranch, we knew it. We could go down to a little bridge and cross around and get around it. We didn't tell each other what we saw until we sat down at the local Denny's. We started describing what we saw. And it was exactly the same thing. Very big, broad chest, muscular, no neck. Just that's the I drew it like I've drawn other things when I see them. And when I go to look on the Bigfoot line online at the drawings that other people make, it's always the same. It's this large head with a sloping trapezius. You don't really have a neck. The muscles here are so big. And that was interesting. Then many years later, up in the Lake Hughes area of California, outside of Los Angeles, at 3:30 in the afternoon, my girlfriend and I were heading home from work. And as we came around a corner, running down out of the cluster of pine trees on the uphill side of the road, heading due south basically, we saw something that was about 7 feet, 8 feet tall, very thin, very lanky, hair hanging from its arms, run and jump over a barbed wire fence and down about 8 to 9 feet into a grove of cottonwood trees. We drove for a minute, and I thought to myself, I said it out loud, so what was that? And my girlfriend said, "You saw it too?" I said, "Yeah." So we realized that what we saw was real. Looking back at that, there's a canyon right across the way from where I saw that. That canyon goes up to the Pacific Crest Trail. And it's in the, I don't know the name of those mountains. It's between Santa Clarita and the Antelope Valley. That cluster of mountains there. And I was in the Leona Valley when we saw that out by Lake Hughes. And tall, thin, very athletic, ran very fast across the road in probably 3 steps. And that was it. You know, when Julie and I, we didn't talk about it for a while, but then we did talk about it, and I drew it. She said, "Yeah, that's exactly it." And it seemed to be being chased by ravens, by the way. Ravens were not too far away. They were just kind of circling. So maybe they were sharing a roadkill.
Interesting.
Don't know. But that was a real interesting one.
Awesome, Dave. Thank you.
Yeah.